Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. Today, we're going to tackle a question that's about so much more than just money. What is the real difference between being rich and being wealthy? Turns out, it's a mindset shift that can literally change everything.
So let me ask you this. Can a surgeon pulling in $500,000 a year actually be broke? I know it sounds impossible, right? But stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only have the answer, but you'll understand the psychology that makes it happen.
So let's get right to it. What is the core difference here? Well, it's not about how much money you make. Not at all. It's about what your money is doing. Is it just passing through your hands, or is it sticking around to build something bigger?
Okay, so being rich is all about income. It's a high cash flow. Think of it like a giant, powerful faucet just gushing water into a bucket. It looks super impressive for sure. But what happens if that faucet suddenly gets turned off? The bucket empties out, fast. It's temporary, and it completely depends on you earning more and more and more. Now, being wealthy, that's a whole different ballgame. This isn't about your paycheck. It's about your net worth, the value of all your assets. This isn't a flow, it's a stock. It's like having a massive reservoir. It fills up over time, and it can sustain you for years. Even if there's a drought, it's all about ownership, not just earnings. And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. The rich mindset, it's focused on spending that big income to get a certain lifestyle. The wealthy mindset, it uses assets to build genuine financial freedom. You see the difference? One is about looking successful, and the other is about actually being secure. So let's really dive into the psychology of that rich mindset, because it's this fascinating and honestly pretty dangerous trap that keeps even really high earners from building any real lasting wealth. We call it the high-income treadmill. You ever heard of the hedonic treadmill? It's a real psychological thing. It's that feeling when you get a raise or buy a new car, and you feel amazing for a little while. Then that feeling fades, and you're already looking for the next thing to make you happy. It's a chase that literally never ends. And this is where lifestyle inflation kicks in. You get that big raise, so you get a bigger house. You get a bonus, so you lease a fancier car. Pretty soon, the luxuries you used to dream about are just normal. They're necessities, and you're left scratching your head wondering where all that extra money went. And then, of course, there's the social pressure. A lot of times, we buy expensive things not because they're better, but just to show other people we can. You know, that fancy watch tells the same time as a cheap one, but it screams, "I've made it." This kind of spending is a direct attack on building real wealth. And if you think this is just theory, look at these names. These guys earned fortunes, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, and still ended up in serious financial trouble. Why? Because they were running full speed on that high-income treadmill. They had all the stuff, but very little actual ownership. Okay, so how do the wealthy do it differently? How do they build a completely different reality? Well, it all starts with a huge psychological shift. They stop thinking like an earner, and they start thinking like an owner. The absolute core of this is something called delayed gratification. It's basically the famous marshmallow test, right? Can you say no to one marshmallow now so you can get two later? This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about making a smart trade, giving up a little pleasure today for a whole lot of freedom tomorrow. And this right here, this is the fork in the road. An earner trades their time for money. They're always focused on that next paycheck. An owner, on the other hand, uses their money to buy assets, things like stocks, real estate, a piece of a business that make money for them, even when they're sleeping. By the way, if this is starting to click for you and you're getting some value out of this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out and motivates us to keep making more videos just like this. Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually build that bridge from the rich way of thinking to the wealthy one? Well, it starts with conquering your biggest enemy, your own brain. Look, our brains are hardwired with all these biases that just love to sabotage our financial plans. Loss aversion makes us panic and sell at the worst time. Herd mentality makes us jump on trends way too late. Overconfidence makes us think we can't lose. The key is to know these things exist and to build a system to protect you from yourself. The actual journey is pretty simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Step 1, you have to create a gap, spend less than you earn. Step 2, you take that gap, that extra cash, and you convert it into assets that can grow. And step 3, which is maybe the hardest part, you just hold on. You maintain those assets and resist that constant urge to mess with them.
And if you want to stay on track, you've got to measure what actually matters. And I'll give a hint, it's not the size of your salary. It's your net worth, how much debt you have, your savings rate, and knowing your financial freedom number. Think of these as the gauges on your dashboard to wealth. But out of all of those, your net worth is the single most important scorecard in this entire game. That's the number. It tells you the real story of your financial progress, and it has nothing to do with how much you earned last month. All right, let's bring this all home and finally answer that big question we asked at the very beginning of this video.
Remember this, the surgeon making a cool $500,000 a year. After everything we've just talked about, income versus assets, spending, psychology, the answer should be pretty darn clear by now.
The answer is a resounding, absolute yes. If that surgeon is also spending $500,000 a year on their house, their cars, their vacations, then they have zero assets and are literally one missed paycheck away from disaster. A high income without assets isn't wealth. It's just a faster, more golden rat race.
Because the real prize here, the ultimate goal, isn't just a big number in your bank account. It's freedom. It's having options. It's the power to wake up every day and make work a choice, not something you're forced to do for the rest of your life.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What would you do if work became a choice instead of a necessity? And hey, if you liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe. It really does motivate us to keep posting. Thanks for watching.